ticket for Denver Comic Con, and I haven't gone to Comic Con in a couple of years now, since 2019. That was the last year I went. And this year I bought tickets for all 3 days. I don't know why I keep doing this. I really should just buy one day because it doesn't make sense. The VIP seemed like the best deal because you also got a bunch of swag with it, or at least I will be getting swag. It's currently beginning of May, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plan for all 3 days with costumes. In this case, I guess plan for the best and hope for the best? I don't know. I'm gonna plan on 3 costumes. It's been a bit more difficult recently to think of costumes that I really want to do. I haven't had very many like dream costumes. I got a couple ideas recently from a couple of different books that I was reading. One of them seems really ambitious, but I'd love to do it. Hi. It is July 1st. It's 9 o'clock. I ended up going by myself, which is something that I have decided officially I'm not gonna do anymore. If I'm gonna spend money on a Comic-Con, I'm either going with like a particular thing in mind, and I'm going to sign up for it beforehand so that I can like actually do it, or I'm going with someone. That's it. Because it was kind of just a waste of money for me to go today, and now I'm very tired. Oh, that's so stupid. Thing number 1 was I was wearing a necklace, obviously not this one, but and I got sunburned. I was wearing a necklace, so it was anyway. Stupid thing number 1 is, for some reason, I've been having a very hard time waking up recently. So this morning I woke up at 11:30. I tried on my costume, and I did not feel comfortable in it at all. And I hated it. I was very uncomfortable, which ended up being a good thing because I didn't know what shoes I was going to wear with it. Like, as soon as I was finished, I was like, well, shit. What shoes? I ended up wearing a different costume, and the badge I got Ultimate, which was a like the three-day pass. I have a feeling that this year's like theme or whatever was horror, which is confusing to me, but kind of makes sense because there was a lot of like horror related stuff there that was like being focused on, and not that there isn't normally, it just it's kind of weird. That's pretty cool. 2023, not nearly as cool as some of my other ones, but what are you gonna do? But it has the schedule. This is the first time I've been back to Comic-Con since 2019, so in that time there has been a lot of like updates and stuff, so you had to tap your badge when you were both entering and exiting. I wasn't sure about regulations as far as bags and water bottles and stuff like that. The only thing I really knew was that your badge had to be visible, like at all times, and that was just something that they had on the website. So I don't know if anyone actually did that. It's really easy when you have a lanyard and you just like hang it around your neck. Of course it's visible. Just don't put your jacket over it or whatever. What I did first of all is I drank one of these in the car on the way there, and then I scrunched it up like this and put it in my bag, so in case if I wasn't allowed to bring another one, that I could still have something to drink water out of. I ended up parking at a relatively, it was almost like completely empty. There was like 5 other cars in this public parking area. It said $4 for 12 hours or $8 for 24. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I have never felt more unprepared to go someplace in my life, which is so dumb. I felt so just confusingly out of my depth. And I've wandered around places that I haven't been before. This is anyway. So I got in, and one of the first things that I did was I went around to the main entrance and I got my bag. This was the main reason that I got the 3-day pass. Oh, I'll just get a 1-day one because I'm not there very often, or I'm not there for very long if I'm by myself, and that is something I recognize about myself, and that's something that I should pay more attention to. But the price difference between the ultimate badge and the 1-day badge, and I'm like, oh, that's actually not that much of a difference, and you get all of this cool stuff with it. I mean, it was like if I had bought myself 2 badges, it would have been that plus parking or something. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is better. So I can have a couple of costumes, and then also, you know, if I have a friend who's like, oh, I can go on Friday, but I can't go on Saturday, then I wouldn't have bought a ticket for Saturday and not for Friday. But in the bag, and this is a huge bag, and it's Superman. Inside the bag, there's a, oh fuck. I knew there was something I was missing, and it's the pin. And unfortunately, you can only get the pin, like, at the booth, and I forgot about it until just now. That's great. Anyway, so there was that. There was a little thing that said that it was, I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard, and it's taking everything within me to not just... Anyway, I spent, as most times, I spent the majority of my time on the merchants, in the merchants hall, and I didn't get very many pictures. I bought a couple things. Oh wait, the rest that came in the swag bag. The bag itself was Superman, which is great. I love Superman. The poster that came in it was Batman. So this is pretty cool. I was really glad that I got some Batman stuff as well. The other things that came in the bag were Action Comics #1. I still haven't opened this. Exclusive variant cover presented by Fan Expo. The main draw was I love Funko Pop figurines. I especially like the weird kind of quirky ones, and it was a ghost face that was part of one of the things that I was just like, oh, it's probably like horror theme or whatever, but Ghostface from Scream, and it didn't show up so great on the website, but it's a special edition. It's knit. It looks like it's still vinyl and everything, but it's like a knit edition, knit series. So Ghostface looks really cozy. He's adorable. I really like it. Collect them all. So cute. I'm just gonna go ahead and open the top. Just gonna pull it out. We're gonna look at what the variant is, and then we'll go ahead and just stick it back in its sleeve. Ooh. He's Superman again. Okay. I don't hate it. I'm confused about how this is the special variant. There's one called Invisible Mafia. Here. And then I bought a lot of stuff, and I figured that I would show you all of the stuff that I bought. So first things first, this guy. This is the Even Star from Lord of the Rings. I used to have one of these that I bought off of eBay, like a mass-produced, like a mass, poorly, cheaply produced company where it took like a month and a half for it to get to me. But this one is very nice. I really, really like it. It's so pretty. This was $10, which I was surprised that it was so inexpensive because, again, it looks really nice. So far, I don't have the discoloration, so I believe this is silver. Could be wrong, but while I was at that booth, I also got this, which one of the reasons that I got this was because I was looking at the display and I'm like, there's no way. I was talking to a couple of other girls that were kind of looking at everything and standing in line with me. We're like, there's no way. When it says 20 or when it says 30 or whatever, that's not $35, is it? It says like 20 with a little dash. That it's not $20, is it? And it was for 20. The title of Queen of Night, and it's so pretty. I believe with ones like this, what you do is you kind of very carefully bend it so it actually fits to your head and kind of nestle these edges into whatever hairstyle you have. But on the ends, I believe what you're supposed to do is put ribbon on there and then like tie it so that it stays on. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel ashamed about this or not, but I now have like 4 tiaras I got at that booth. They didn't have a online shop, so they didn't have any cards or whatever. Next thing I got was there was a tea booth. There was a booth with a lot of different like teas and stuff, and I ended up getting one of the little sampler bags because they had bags like this. I got the Earl Grey sample set, and it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of teas to sample, types of Earl Grey to sample. Casamira, it is a raspberry Earl Grey black tea. The next one is Clockwork Professor caffeine-free Earl Grey rooibos. The next one is Lagrange Grey, which is a berry Earl Grey black tea. Ravens in the Library, which is a creamed Earl Grey black tea. And then the next one was Xavier Quinn spiced Earl Grey black tea. So all of them except for the Clockwork Professor are caffeinated, because that's what black tea is. Also, as I was getting ready to pay, they're like, oh, is that all? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, wait, there's this. And it looked kind of cute. So it was $4. So star-shaped sugar, which is granulated sugar, sweet potato starch, food coloring. Oh, that's it. Okay, because they're in like little star shapes. Go ahead and cut this open and try one of them. So yellow tends to be the worst one all the time, always, for everything. So here it is. The food coloring isn't flavored. So all of these guys, even though they're different colors, they shouldn't have different flavors. So you can just pop them in your tea or your coffee or various other things that you put sugar in. Last thing I got, let me grab it. Coffee company had a booth, and it was Comics Coffee. They had a huge display that caught my attention. That was like Are You in Love or something like that, and it was Harley and the Joker from the comic books. And I'm like, no, no, I don't. But it was a really cute package. And one of the guys behind the counter was like, hey, did you want to try a sample? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. What one do you have? Like, what flavor is it? And he said it was pecan coconut. Pecan, however you want to say it. Pecan coconut. And I'm like, oh, well, never mind. I don't want to try it. I said it's probably best if I don't. And that one was the one with the Wonder Woman cover. It's like, oh, well, that's the only one I have. Normally I have like two that are ready for samples, but that's the only one I have. I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. Of all of these options, which one's your favorite? Which I'm sure they love. They absolutely love. I have no doubt. He started by being like, well, the pecan coconut is my favorite one, but that probably doesn't help you. I'm like, no. And so he pointed to the one with the Joker and Harley on it. He's like, this one, I really like this one, which was a raspberry, like a fruity flavored coffee. He pointed out a Batman one, which was like a extra dark roast or whatever. And then he pointed to the Superman one, like when I was like very not interested in those other ones. He pointed to the Superman one and is like, this one's vanilla. And I'm like, so I'm just like, I'll buy it. I'll go ahead and buy a bag of it. And he asked me if I wanted it ground or whole bean, and I got it ground because that just saves me a step. However, I still cannot get over how hilarious this is. Probably unintentionally hilarious, but the fact that Superman is the vanilla flavor just sent me. Oh, that's really cool. And they also have a comic book on the back, part of a comic strip. In a lot of people's opinion, Superman is the most boring superhero, but the fact that Superman was the vanilla flavor, I was very confused because it says featuring the very finest blend, and I'm assuming this is what it's talking about, because why else would it say whatever? It says the Metropolis Mocha. Mocha? I'm very confused why you consider this the Metropolis Mocha when it is vanilla flavored. What? I do have not the most sophisticated palate when it comes to trying to pick up notes on different types of drinks. And my necklace. And those are the things that I bought. I don't know what I'm getting at. This is a very boring, I'm sure, thing that I'm doing. But I was there for like 3 hours. And then I walked back to my car. It was like 17 minutes away. That was my experience, and probably the last one I'm going to do by myself. Yeah. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.